New U.S. inflation numbers are out this week, and here's what I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. You see, there's a bit of a riddle tied up in the U.S. economy. Tariffs have driven up the cost of key components, key industrial inputs like steel and aluminum and copper and lumber. But so far, at least, the cost of those tariffs has not been passed on to consumers. Now, the Trump administration has been adamant that tariffs don't cause inflation, but they also say foreign countries pay for the tariffs, even though we know it's American companies importing these goods that pay the tariff bill. So what's really going on? Well, part of the question is whether these extra costs have been averted or merely delayed. Remember, American companies knew these tariffs were coming, so they stockpiled, and they stockpiled a lot before the tariffs kicked in. Over the last 10 months or so, though, those stockpiles have begun to dwindle and be depleted. And there's all kinds of signs in the surveys now and the producer price indexes that are showing us that the cost pressures on these American companies are building. Now, all that in mind, there's two kind of weird caveats to keep in mind here. One is that we're still dealing with gaps in the data because American workers weren't out getting those numbers during the government shutdown in the fall. So there's gaps about what we know was really happening in the economy in October, November, and December. The other one is that gasoline prices fell considerably in December. So that'll drag down the overall headline rate of inflation, even if those input costs are going up. So watch for evidence of the tariffs when the inflation numbers come out on Friday. But if there's one thing we've learned over the last year, it's every time we think we have a sense of what's about to happen in the economy, the numbers come out and they surprise us.